The world can be conquered in many different ways. Some do it by solitary strength alone. But in their shadows lives a different kind of king. One that wields his subjects like a weapon, wears their loyalty like armor. Power here resides not in the individual, but in the collective. Dogged warriors, bound by nature, born to thrive. By the time its research effort entered into its third generation, the Hunters Guild had already surveyed and explored many locales and environments. With that came an accumulated experience that informed their decisions on how to proceed with the exploration of the island district. One common wisdom that had emerged over time was that to study an ecosystem, one must start by identifying its local runner wyvern. This infraorder represents a subtype of bird wyvern easily recognizable by their bipedal, wingless body build and social hunting strategies. They have long been known to the guild and the general populace alike, and while they're mostly regarded as pests, they play a vital role in unraveling an ecosystem. Runner wyvern usually sit in the lower middle of a food chain. They prey on small herbivores, compete with mid-sized predators, and fear the apexes of any region. This can be crucial in sketching out a basic circle of life for any given locale. And more broadly, observing and following a group of runner wyvern is generally a good way to, eventually, encounter every large inhabitant of an area. Furthermore, due to their archetypical body structure, which is shared between nearly all members of the infraorder, runner wyverns' bodies are excellent markers of environmental adaptations, since their differences stick out visibly amidst their general many similarities. Thus, the guild began scouring the island district for traces of runner wyvern, and found possible tracks soon enough. However, the runner wyvern found here, as well as many species found from the guild's third generation onwards in general, displayed some broader differences to the ones the guild had previously discovered. Here, runner wyvern seemed to be heavier set, with enlarged muscle mass. They also lived in more complex social structures than the species found in Shrade, and the alpha pack leaders had a more diverse array of dominance displays compared to the previously known runner wyverns, where alphas were generally distinguished by a simple head crest. Due to these differences, it was decided to split the runner wyvern infraorder further and establish a new category that these bulkier species could fit into: the superfamily dog wyvern, where the majority of runner wyvern would eventually be classified into. The creation of this phylogenetic group was conjoined with the official recording of its very first member, the Jaggi. Sporting a frill and colored in purples and oranges, the Jaggi are hard to confuse with any other bird wyvern. They are especially abundant in the island district, but have also been observed in the deserts of Sekumea and in the forests and plains of Terosu. It's very likely that they live in other regions as well. Any sufficiently warm climate is a suitable home for the Jaggi. Their frills allow them to manage their temperature even in sweltering deserts. They are often seen wandering around curiously, attacking small prey with bites and tackles, and occasionally vocalizing using their developed screamer organs. At first, they seem quaint, if unremarkable. But investigations soon revealed how much more there was to this small raptor. Jaggi display a significant degree of sexual and social dimorphism, and live in packs with a fascinating division of labor and hierarchy. In any given Jaggi pack, there are many beta males, which are thin and small, but nimble. Then, there are several females, called Jaggia, which are larger, more muscular, and sport a distinctly drooping frill. And at the top of the pack sits a single alpha male, called the Great Jaggi, easily distinguishable by its large size and ornate frill, which can be expanded to appear more threatening or expel excess body heat. These three groups take on different jobs within the pack. The large and bulky females stick close to the nest and take care of any juveniles the pack might have. Their sturdy frames allow them to effectively fight off intruders and enforce the pack's territory. They can even hunt medium-sized prey by themselves, which they then drag back to the nest to be consumed by the pack. Meanwhile, the small beta male Jaggi are split into two groups. The scout Jaggi venture out far away from the nest and survey the surrounding areas. These scouts chart a vast area as they look for better hunting grounds and potential expansions to the pack's territory. But they also have another important job. The scouts are tasked with digging and establishing small tunnel networks that run from the nest across the pack's entire territory. These tunnels are neither deep nor wide, and simply serve as potential highways should the pack need to quickly reach the far corners of their territory. When it comes to these highways, the Jaggi work smarter, not harder. In regions where other burrowing monsters live, such as Alteroth, the scout Jaggis simply evict or kill them and hijack their tunnels for themselves, forcefully inheriting an established underground network they can expand and modify however they please. These Jaggi are aggressive and assertive, willing to challenge any adversaries they face. Their only weakness is fire, which they run away from in fear. Their size also makes them vulnerable and unable to hunt large prey by themselves, which is why scout Jaggis generally only eat fish when out on their expeditions. The beta males that don't go out scouting, meanwhile, join up with the alpha Great Jaggi to form the pack's hunting party. With the alpha as the enforcer, the Jaggi hunting party can secure large kills and fend off even large monsters fairly effectively. That is due to the strength and leadership of the Great Jaggi. Its muscular body is a powerful weapon, but its most valuable tool is its highly developed vocal organ. Using an array of sounds and howls, the Great Jaggi can inspire its hunting party and give them strategic commands. It can even encourage the beta males to overcome their fear of fire. This pack structure has made the Jaggi an exceptionally successful species, and a truly problematic one as well. The size of a pack is, in theory, unlimited, and the larger a pack grows, the bolder its actions become. It is, at this point, well established that past a certain critical size, Jaggi packs will actively seek out human settlements and raid them for food, much like a group of bandits would. Due to this, hunting requests for Jaggis are quite common to ensure regular culling of their numbers. The Great Jaggi, however, can never truly relax even among its pack. When male Jaggi grow large enough, they leave their packs behind and brave the wilderness alone. Many males die during this trial, but those that survive undergo transformation into a Great Jaggi. Once fully grown into their alpha state, these individuals return to their home region and take control of an existing pack, often even the very pack they originated from, by usurping the current Great Jaggi. So, an alpha must constantly be on the lookout to see if any of his underlings are growing large enough to potentially challenge him. One way in which the Great Jaggi protects its dominance is by enforcing a strict feeding order. The alpha eats first until he's satiated, then the females, and only then do the beta males get to feed on whatever scraps are left. This artificially limits the amount of calories that beta male Jaggi receive, stunting their growth and stopping them from getting large enough to begin their transformation. Another threat to the Great Jaggi's authority, however, is its task of combat. Should an opponent severely damage its frill, the pack will essentially abandon their leader, refusing to take orders from a king with a broken crown. As far as the island district is concerned, the Jaggi is its dominant dog wyvern, appearing on all charted islands and commanding wide areas as its territories. Emboldened by this discovery, and eager to see what other dog wyvern might be out there, the guild began asking various allied villages and regions if they knew of any similar-looking creatures within their homelands. The most promising response came from an unlikely source: the Fire Country, a mysterious community spread across the volcanic Erude region, whose shores border on the waters of the island district. These people only have sporadic contact with the guild, but in this case, their intel proved quite valuable. The Fire Elders spoke of a thick, wingless bird wyvern covered in a vibrant hide, whose poisoned breath hung thick over many volcanic valleys. Hunting parties were sent out to investigate, which led to the official discovery of the Wroggi. These brightly colored, omnivorous dog wyvern are found in volcanic and swampy environments, with their major populations existing near Erude's volcanoes and Terosu's forests and jungles. With their moist hide, Wroggi are resistant to many infections and contaminations, which is presumed to be the reason they can inhabit both ashy highlands and bubbling mire fields without any trouble. This hide serves a different purpose as well, however. Its bright orange hue is useless for camouflage, and instead does the opposite, being a flash warning sign to any would-be attackers. For the Wroggi wields a powerful poison, produced in the two poison sacs at the sides of its head. When expelled, it takes the form of a mass of venomous slime, which can easily kill monsters much larger than its user. So, most other creatures avoid even the smallest Wroggi. The Wroggi enhance their grip over a region by, just like the Jaggi, living in highly social packs. Multiple young Wroggis follow the lead of one alpha leader, called Great Wroggi. This grown individual is easily distinguishable by its large body size, fin-like protrusions of the tail, an intricate pattern on the skin, and an enormous poison sac spanning the throat and sides of the head. These leaders emerge when a male Wroggi grows large and develops increasingly complex color patterns on its orange hide. Once a certain threshold has been reached, the Wroggi shoots up in size as its two poison sacs fuse into one, crowning it a Great Wroggi. While Jaggi packs are highly individualist and opportunistic relationships of convenience, there appears to be true loyalty between Wroggi and their leader. When out on a hunt, the small Wroggi scout out the area ahead of their chief, and once prey has been located, the pack employs a tried-and-true strategy. The smaller males attempt to encircle and disorient the target, while the bulkier males surround the alpha and shield him with their bodies. Wroggi are known to lay down their lives for each other during this maneuver. Once the target has been sufficiently cornered, the Great Wroggi empties its bulging poison sac, producing a cloud of poison mist that hangs around in the air and envenomates all that are caught in it. This airborne poison is so powerful that even the great Wroggi himself, who is otherwise considered extremely resistant to many poisons, has to protect itself from it. Its nose is modified with special tissue that can be used to plug the nostrils at will, preventing accidental inhalation. This tactic is usually enough to deal with most opponents. Should the target somehow avoid the poison attack or survive the effects of the poison, the great Wroggi goes on the offensive, with its brothers aiding from the sidelines. Using its massive body, the alpha charges at the enemy, while the small Wroggi spew blobs of poison whenever they see an opening. The great Wroggi may even use clever tricks, such as spewing out a cloud of poison and using it as a smokescreen to attack through. A Wroggi pack can pose a serious threat, but the alpha does have one weakness. While it is largely immune to most common poisons, it is extremely vulnerable to paralytic neurotoxins specifically. Why exactly that is hasn't been determined yet, but researchers believe it might be due to the many extremely sensitive nerves that line the great Wroggi's massive poison sac. Wroggi generally live in remote areas, but can still become a problem for humans all the same. Just like the Jaggi, there doesn't seem to be a limit to how large a pack can become, and the larger it gets, the bolder the Wroggi become. They, too, are known to creep closer to inhabited areas as they grow in numbers. This is especially problematic in agriculturally developed zones. The great Wroggi can also spew out its poison as a pungent slime, which is used to mark the borders of a pack's territory. The fumes from these markings, as well as the poison the Wroggi use in combat, can easily spoil entire crop fields within the blink of an eye. Farmers thus often post hunting quests to the guild whenever Wroggi are spotted anywhere near settlements. The guild also has incentive to hunt them. Wroggi skin is durable and elastic, making it a valuable good not just for armor and weapons crafting, but also for luxury goods that can stimulate the local economy, such as musical instruments. For a while, the Jaggi and the Wroggi stood as the solitary members of the dog wyvern superfamily. It was of course assumed that there were probably other extant species that had not yet been discovered. The eastern islands of the island district were entirely unreachable at the time due to powerful currents and their shores being lined with massive crags, and many scholars believed that other dog wyvern might dwell there. There was also the matter of a dog wyvern-like species prowling the ruins near Kamura village in the Terosu region. But before either of those matters could be investigated, the third dog wyvern species was found elsewhere, far away from the island district, nearly on the other side of the continent in fact. In the Furahia region, in a frozen no-man's land the guild now calls the Graveyard Tundra, a lonesome expeditioner returned haggard and shell-shocked, speaking of a monster that had decimated his research team. A vile creature that put a spell on his men and ate them alive, gorging on their entrails while their eyes twitched in paralyzed agony. It sounded like a serious threat, so the guild mobilized a proper hunting party to take a look. Sure enough, this fiend was sighted and identified as the third dog wyvern species, dubbed the Baggi. While they are generally comparable in body build to the Jaggi, their hide is a distinctive blue, and instead of a frill, the Baggi grow a small protrusion on their heads. One way or another, they are hard to confuse with Jaggi, because Baggi are exclusively found in Arctic regions and are entirely endemic to the Furahiad region. Like the other dog wyverns, Baggi also form packs, though their structure and organization differs from the Jaggi and Wroggi. Baggi packs consist of multiple smaller individuals under the lead of one alpha individual, called the Great Baggi. While the development of Great Jaggi and Great Wroggi is somewhat understood, it remains entirely unclear what conditions compel a Baggi to grow into an alpha. The Great Baggi is the largest known dog wyvern, with a bulky body packed with muscle. Its dominance is signaled by a tuft of dark fur around the shoulders and an enlarged head crest. It has been noted that the size of the head crest seems to correlate with the size of the pack, so perhaps larger head crests confer a larger authority onto the alpha. The completely carnivorous Baggi claim large territories and survey them regularly. Curiously, the pack basically never travels all together, instead being split into small battalions while the alpha wanders around by himself. This gives them an extremely wide range of surveillance. When one of the battalions spots suitable prey or something else of note, one of the Baggi uses a developed throat organ to produce a signature call. This howl summons the Great Baggi, who rushes to the scene to take direct control of the situation. When engaging prey or an enemy, the hunting strategy is brutally simple. The youngest males chase the target into an ambush, where the alpha and his most trusted betas unleash this dog wyvern's secret weapon, a sleep toxin produced in a specialized organ, which can be spit out as a mucus which knocks out most creatures instantly. Hit by this compound, the target falls unconscious and is ready to be eaten alive by the hungry Baggi pack. Much still remains unknown about the Baggi, due to how remote their habitats are. The guild has, however, made a few concerning discoveries. While in the other dog wyvern species, every pack can only ever have a single alpha, it has been noted that Baggi packs can fuse into mega packs, consisting of multiple dozen small Baggi and 2 great Baggi, who seem to share their authority equally. This behavior is poorly understood, and might occur in times when packs are displaced or threatened by an invading predator, such as the Tigrex. Another oddity is that the global population size of Baggi appears to be increasing steadily, which is unusual for a creature living in the harsh north. Currently, this is not problematic, since Baggi generally don't venture far enough south to invade settled regions. And while they are powerful, they share the same weakness to paralytic toxins that the Wroggi has. In the Baggi's case, it seems that exposure to paralytic compounds causes a chain reaction with their sleep toxins that incapacitates them temporarily. So, the actual likelihood of a large-scale Baggi invasion is slim. But that does not mean the guild isn't anxious about the possibility. The Baggi sleep toxin is a terrifying weapon by itself, but what is truly troubling is the estimated level of intelligence of the Great Baggi. The species has, as a whole, only had very limited contact with humans and hunters, and yet, Great Baggi seem to adapt to fighting hunters faster and faster, being more proficient at dodging man-made weapons each time they are encountered. Similar to the Blangonga, the fear of accidentally accelerating their intellectual growth has led the guild to limit the amount of Baggi hunts per year. This has, inadvertently, made Baggi materials extremely valuable on black markets, since they are so hard to come by legitimately. Next time on Monster Hunter Ecology. From the rivers in the valley, to the snowfields in the north, to the sands of the south, their steps resound, their claw marks linger, for who can truly know the shape of a beast? Hey, thank you everyone so much for watching. A very special thank you to all of my patrons. I want to especially thank Glitchy, Jacob Coleman, Adum, Draco Vane, Hellbug Hunter, Shebo, M1 Have One Too, Regal Eagle, Ronger97, Quali, Elzendo Carlo, Matt Hat 124, My Name Gone, The Dollarfish, King Dre, Ryan Hook, Veraxis, Thick, Kuroneko, Zion H.V. Augenson, A.J. Rivera, Alistair, Jacob the Numbnut, Soruka, Sir Newt Newt, Evie, Rambling Robin, Hashi, Black Ace 202, Dissy, Hubbo Himbro Mirror, Magenta Magenta, Arcturian 711, Russell, Vulgar Beast, Person 212, Claire Miboon, Oakwood Tree, Mr. Pyramid, Makoto 02, Geo, Jamie Tate, Nils Schlatter, Iron Camel, and I'm going to bed. Take care, everyone. I hope you have a good one. Bye bye.